As we all know, the Swiss are very punctual. So of course, do not be late. If it's an official event, there is no way ever that you should be late, but in a social setting, maybe 5 minutes, maximum 5 minutes. More than that, it's really rude. Actually, anywhere else as well, but I think in some countries it's more acceptable, like Malaysian timing, but here in Switzerland, just no. The Swiss really take timing very seriously. There will be an announcement in the train station if a train is just 3 minutes late. Having said that, number 2 is a bit contradictory. You do not want to be late, but you do not want to be too early as well. So the reason why is because, for example, someone invited you to their house for a party. If you're too early, say 15 minutes, there might be some things that are not done and they are really planning to prepare for you to come at say 6 and you arrive at 5:45. It may appear a little bit rude. Even for more official appointments, I remember previously I had an appointment with this masseuse and Dani was taking me there. So it's a house business. So when we arrived, we were like 10 minutes early. And I was like, yay, we're early, let's go out. And Danny was like, no, let's just hang around at some park. So we hung around at some park for another 5 minutes because arriving too early, even 10 minutes, can be inconveniencing others. So I think that's why the Swiss do not like to be late and they do not want to be too early. So you have to be on the dot. I've heard that trams here even slow down so that they are not too early, so that they are just on time. And third, when you're invited to someone's house for a party or just for a gathering with food involved, do not bring large amounts of food there because that is perceived as rude. Because someone invited you to dinner or lunch, it means that they are well prepared, they would have enough food for you. Bringing too much food will show that the person is not really a good host. You don't know if you have enough food. So whenever you're invited to a party or a lunch, just do check with the host whether you can bring a small dessert or a small dish to avoid being rude. Fourth, now you are the host and someone brings you a bottle of wine. You do not want to open that bottle of wine on that night itself. You must, of course, show appreciation and put it aside. Opening the wine on the same day it was gifted to you with them being around is something you shouldn't do in Switzerland. You may be thinking that all of Europe is pretty much the same, but that is not true. In Italy, I heard that it's the opposite. If someone brings you a bottle of wine, you should open it and share it on the same night. So if you're from Italy, please let me know down below if that is true or not. And fifth, do not talk too loudly, especially public places like in trains or buses where people cannot run away from you. It is perceived as really rude, especially if you're on the mobile phone. I think talking loudly on the mobile is really rude anywhere. I mean, I really dislike it. I have a pretty loud voice. It's something I have to learn to tone down because I'm always excited, and when I'm excited, I'm louder. And my husband, Danny, sometimes he'll be like, "Why are you yelling?" I'm like, I'm not yelling, I'm just excited. Number 6, if you have a dog, you have to buy them a train ticket as well. Even a dog has to pay for this shuttle. So your dog actually has the right to have its own seat because it's paid. Yep, that's very interesting for me. The first time I saw it was in Zermatt train station.
So for an adult, it's 1640 and for dogs, 820.
Number 7 is my personal experience when I first met Danny and we started going out. The Swiss are very proud of their little country. So you shall not ever say that they are the same country as Germany or France. I actually called Danny a German in the beginning and he was pretty offended. I mean, they speak German anyway. So the Swiss has an Italian part, a French part, a German part. So I guess it's quite easy for outsiders to confuse the Swiss French to being from France and the Swiss German to be German. So in the beginning, I called Danny a German, and he didn't like it too much, but he liked me enough to continue asking me out for dinner. Last but not least, do not address someone by their first name unless invited to do so. So you always use surname and their title. So for example, someone is Peter Lee, you do not say Peter or even Mr. Peter, you say Mr. Lee. I think it's part of the culture because of the language, because in German, you is not just you, one word, same word. It's two different words. So formally it's Sie and informally it's Du. So with people of your same age, you say Du, but people you just met or people elder than you or holding a higher position like your boss, you say Sie until they invite you to say Du. So it's rather formalistic here, which is something I have to get used to. I still tell people I'm Dawn the first time I meet them.